We're going to take a look now at the forecast rain over the next week. As the remnants of Cyclone Debbie move south, we're expecting heavy rain to spread right down the eastern seaboard of the nation. And already over the past week, we've had some heavy rain up and down the eastern seaboard. A completely separate weather system last week has already brought heavy falls to the central coast, the exact same area where Cyclone Debbie is making landfall. You can see that black shading showing over 400 millimetres over the past week through parts of the central coast and well over 300 for parts of the Capricornia. Here's some shots of the coastline as Debbie was approaching on Monday. Already the winds picked up. They were gale force during the morning. They became severe gales with destructive winds later on Monday. And overnight, wind gusts over 200 kilometres per hour striking the central part of the coast. A significant storm surge coming through with this system. All intense tropical cyclones produce a storm surge, but particularly when they arrive close to high tide, which came through at 9 o'clock this morning. So there we go. There's the rain over the past week. That's up to 9 o'clock on Monday morning. Over the past 24 hours, well, we've seen another 100 millimetres plus around that central part of the coast, and that is why we have warnings in place for flash flooding and also river flooding. There is Cyclone Debbie on the satellite as she approached the coast. You'll notice the eye right in the centre, which is always an indication of an extremely intense tropical cyclone. In terms of size, it's a small to medium-sized cyclone. The radius through most of Debbie's lifetime has been around 300 kilometres, which is pretty standard for Australian cyclones, not quite as large as some of the hurricanes and typhoons they see in the northern hemisphere. There's the forecast rain for Tuesday. Obviously heavy rain with an average fall of about 200 millimetres for the central Queensland coast. Not much rain for the rest of the nation. Southeastern Australia, a front has moved off into the Tasman Sea, so showers have cleared up. And we're expecting showers and storms across the northwest tropics. Now Debbie, while the system obviously will weaken after making landfall, will spread heavy rain on Wednesday through to the central parts of Queensland, reaching as far west as roughly Richmond over the next 24 hours or so. Now moisture from the system in a northerly will then start moving south, so we'll start to get an increase in rain over southeast Queensland on Wednesday, and a cold front will cross southeastern Australia, bringing a burst of showers. Now that's important because that cold front ahead of it will be preceded by a northerly, which will carry that moisture further south. It will then interact with the front near the east coast to produce solid rain on Thursday right down the New South Wales coast and ranges, and the heavy rain will continue through central and southern parts of Queensland. The activity contracting towards the coast on Friday, still heavy falls, southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales, and then easing back to showers on Saturday, mostly clearing by Sunday. So how much rain will fall altogether? Well, event totals should hit about 500 millimetres for central parts of the Queensland coast, and that's indicated by the black shading. We're expecting over 200 millimetres to fall through even parts of the northern central highlands, with heavy falls extending to the southern Queensland coast. Our red shading there right through Brisbane, the Sunshine Coast, the Gold Coast, well that indicates as well over 200 millimetres of rain. So flash flooding, perhaps even river flooding, will develop during the second half of the week through southeast Queensland, and we are expecting some heavy falls as well through the eastern half of New South Wales.